In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Words, 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 and words. We are always found using the words. Even when we are thinking, even when we are talking, even when we are reading, even when we are listening, these are the words, and the words are the source of communication, the words of a source of understanding the things and the people. But what we don't know about the words is that these words are having a kind of huge impact upon the kind of person we are, upon the kind of person we are, upon the mood we are having, upon the moods we are having. These words does play a very important role in the moods we are having, and even how light or how heavy do we feel, when do we feel tired, how early do we feel tired, or how much of the stamina do we have. The words have a larger effect upon all of these things. And even when we are trying to understand someone else, I think it is important to understand the kind of words this particular person is found using while making the friendship, and while deciding certain other thing, the kind of relationship we are going to have, we might have with someone else. I think the word somebody is using makes it easy for us to understand about that particular person. And not only this thing, as far we ourselves are concerned, the kind of words we are found using, whether we are communicating with someone else or not, whether we are just communicating with we ourselves, whether we are just trying to understand about something or about someone else, these words actually are having a larger and a kind of huge effect upon all the things, upon all the results, upon all the relevant consequences we people are going to have. Suppose that you are describing someone else, either to yourself or to your family member or your friend. You say to someone, you say to these people that that particular person is my enemy, that particular person is my enemy. Once you use these words and your loved ones are listening, what will be the effect of this one? Not only upon those, rather upon yourself as well. And if at all you speak to somebody and you say that you are my enemy, what sort of image that particular person will be having about us, and what sort of impact will be the usage of this word upon that particular person? How will it affect our relationship? And now, describing the same thing about the same person, we say that you are my opponent, you are my opponent. Now the intensity has been reduced, now from the enemy to the one who is my opponent. This means that the person against whom we are using this word, he too will try to become our opponent instead of our enemy, and this person will be having a less intense emotions about we ourselves. And if at all we are communicating and telling to our family members, our loved ones, that this particular person is my opponent, now the intensity, the hatred has been reduced. And now suppose you were using it, you were using the word enemy for some of the time, what was the effect upon all of these people? Now you have started using the word opponent. I think it will be having a lesser intensity upon all these people. Now you have stopped using the word opponent, and you are using the person, you are using the different word, and you are describing the same person, that this person usually disagrees with me, this person usually disagrees with me, does not agree with me. Now look upon the effect of this thing as well. The intensity, the hatred, the bitterness has further become down. This, dear friends and fellows, not only this thing, rather we can even further bring it down. We can start saying that the two of us are usually having a difference of opinion about several subjects. we do talk about. Now look upon these four types of the sentences, four of these types of the words we are using. Do you think that the effect, that the essence will be the same? Absolutely not. The essence and the effects will be totally different one, dear friends and fellows in Pakistan and abroad. The effects are actually having the real effect upon we ourselves, and we need to understand it, and we need to make a decision, we need to make a commitment with ourselves that from now onward I shall be using, as for the bitter words are concerned, I shall be using the alternative words which can reduce the bitterness, the poison in it, so that it could have a lesser negative effect upon me myself, upon my loved ones, and upon the people against whom I am using these words. I think that the words does have an effect. It can make ourselves pleasant, and it can make ourselves unpleasant as well. Now, I shall try to explain my point of view in another manner as well. That is even more important to understand. Say, as somebody is found saying that I remain in depression for most of the time, that I remain depressed for the past so many years, for the past that much of the time. Now look upon the effect this type of sentences will be having upon that particular person, and how worrisome it would be for the people who loves him or her. Dear friends and fellows, the same person start using the different word and does say that I am feeling sad, I am sad. Now I think so that the situation will become much better, and it will be having much lesser negative effect upon that particular person, upon the loved ones of this particular person. Now the same person has started using the sentences that I am unhappy, I am unhappy. So I think so. Again, it will further reduce the burden of negative emotions. Now the same person has started saying and describing one's own position, that upon listening this thing, upon seeing this thing, I do feel sad and unhappy, but for a short span of time the things will get even better, or will become less bitter. I think so. This way we can do it, and it will affect a lot actually upon the kind of person we have become, a kind of the moods we people find ourselves in, and a kind of result we people are found producing, whether we remain energetic or we remain stagnant and unable to move, unable to deliver, unable to become active. I think the words are definitely having a larger and a greater effect upon one's own personality, upon one's own action, as well as upon the other people who are interacting with him, or the other people who are listening to him, the other people who loves him or her. Dear friends and fellows, let's make a commitment from this time onward, that I shall be inshallah using, if at all the words are bitter, I shall be using lesser and lesser bitter word to describe a situation, to talk about a person, and to tell one's own story. Inshallah, this habit of mine and yours will affect us largely, will make us a far better, a far more effective person. Thank you. Jazakallah.